Hey guys, it's Ion Complex. This week we're going to be taking this Falling Blocks game and turning it into this. If you're interested in figuring out how we did that and how you can get this game for yourself, stay tuned. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Ion Complex with another Roblox Studio how-to video. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, we went through how to create a Falling Blocks game. We touched on a lot of the basic fundamentals of the scripting that goes into making the blocks fall down. As well as we went a little bit further, we added a full game process to it so that players could actually join the game, get placed into a map, go through the whole entire experience, finish up, and then the map would start over again. This week we're going to take this full experience from part 1 and we're going to upgrade it. So as you guys can see here, we upgraded the lobby quite a bit. It has a little bit of land space now that players can sit on and run around and jump on each other and do all that other weird stuff Robloxers do. A little bit of element to add to the bottom. It kind of fades out as it goes into the background there. We added a game rules display so that you can change the rules of your game or whatever have you and display them so that users can see how to actually play the game before they even get into it. And the nice podium area at the front could be a good spot to put different little purchases or other items you want to add that allow players to upgrade their stats or upgrade their ability to play the game or how they break blocks or whatever your imagination can come up with. Another obvious change you can see here is the map has received a facelift. Now this has no fundamental difference to what was in part 1. It's the same blocks following the same script idea, just have the textures changed, and they're reorganized in a different way to try and make the map a little bit more challenging for the players. Underneath the map, we added a few lava monsters that came out of the toolbox just to add a little bit of experience as you fall through the floor. You can kind of see that you're going to fall through a lava monster. One important aspect if you're going to add things like this into the map is make sure that they are not collidable. You want to be able to fall right through those so that players can't stand on it instead of actually falling through. Another item that you can see we added is the leaderboard in the upper right hand corner. We added the ability to count blocks, wins, and the number of matches a player has played. This will not store across the data storage, so players will lose these stats when they leave. Persistent data storage leader statistics will come in the future. You can see a little bit of upgrade to the way the tiles work. They actually fall now when they get touched. You can see the blocks counting up as I go across them. You can use the counting blocks if you want to give somebody a certain rank or certain experience level for clearing a number of blocks, if they get awards or anything like that. Whatever you can come up with for your game. Do whatever you'd like. If you need help scripting any of it, please feel free to reach out. I do not mind. You'll see if I fall through the floor here. The match continues. My number of matches changes to 1 because I've now lost. My blocks count stays. But I'm in the lobby, and I'm here. I can jump around on people or do all those other things that Robloxers do when they're standing in the lobby with nothing going on. Let's go through and look at some of the scripting changes that have actually taken place on this map now. Alright, for the falling block script, just a little bit of additional feature was put to it, changing it so that the anchor changes to false. We modify the speed just a little bit, changing the colors, things like that. One of the other things we did in order for the leader stats to work is we built in this function that allows it to get the player that actually touched the block and add to their leader stats the fact that they touched the block, 1 additional block. The starting blocks don't have the ability to count blocks. Those shouldn't count for a person, so starting blocks do not have that same functionality. Let's see what else we've got. Game Manager has pretty much stayed the same. Game settings, set these to whatever feels right for you, whatever's happening for you in your game. I have it set to 1 right now. I'll make sure I set this back to 2. I set it to 1 so that I can actually run around the game and test it. If you do that, make sure you set it back to 2. Otherwise, when people join, it won't play right. Inside Match Manager, Doesn't look like we've done any additional changes in here. These ones have stayed the same. There have been some pretty decent changes to Player Manager, though. All the basic functionality is still there from before. We've just done some additions. One of the first things we did is here within the local function of onPlayerJoin. It used to simply just send them to the lobby spawn, but now we've created the leaderstats folder, and that contains the blocks, the wins, and the matches. You can change these to be whatever stats you want to capture. Feel free. If you want to add other stats here, go for it, and just make sure that you add the additional spots to track them along the way. Here, when we're getting the winner name, once we have the winner, we add 1 to their win count. And that's how we're tracking the winner's leader stats. I can't remember if in part 1 I had everything in their own little folders, but I do now. It just made everything easier. The display at the top during the gameplay went through a little bit of change also. It's mostly just aesthetic changes. I did remove the countdown from it because I want the end of the game to be when there's only one player left, not when the timer stops. This background that's applied here was found inside the toolbox. It's not something I made. It was actually a pretty sick looking background. That is applied under the lighting section. It has the volcano asset added to it. Coming up for part 3 of this map, I'm going to be adding in additional gameplay maps so that it can trade through different maps as the matches change. I'm going to be adding different functionality to the lobby area so that you can add some skill-based things or rank-based things or whatever have you to it as you go through it. I'll just give you some to start with that you can use as examples. And I'm going to be taking a look at the leader stats and making those actually persistent through a data store. That way players that leave the game and come back can keep certain stats that go with them or keep a level as they go through so that other players can see that they've been playing for a while. Guys, just like in part 1, every script used in this is available in my GitHub. I have the Roblox file available for this game. If you don't feel like scripting it, you can go ahead and download it and just load it yourself. Make any changes you want. Make this game your own. That's why I'm putting it here. I want you to have fun with it, and I want you to learn from it. That's the entire reason I'm doing what I'm doing. If you do take this game and get something cool going with it, please put it in the comments of the video. I would love to swing by your experience and see what you've done with it. I'm excited to see what ideas people come up with. As I've stated and alluded to in other videos, I do have a pretty large experience that I've been working on for quite a few months that I'm going to be releasing to a kind of limited public sort of group in order to try and get feedback, bug reports, and things of that nature. That will be coming in a future video, probably here within the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for that. Until next time, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking time to go through this with me and see what's happening. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. If you have any ideas, thoughts, otherwise, put them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed what you see, please go ahead and subscribe. That would help me know that what I'm doing is heading in the right direction. Until next time, y'all, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you out there.